Now that's what I like to call taking advantage of a series. Unbelievable. Another sweep. This one comes against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2 consecutive sweeps. Well done. I would honestly say that's more of being the benefits of beneficiaries of a rather easy schedule, but like I said on the previous episode, you gotta beat these opponents while they are struggling.
Correct.
The Diamondbacks are a big example of this, having the worst record in Major League Baseball. Angels, this is a very well done performance. You crush your opponents, outscoring them 24-15 combined, and especially in Game 3, they had literally no chance to do anything against Patrick Sandoval. That's the best start he's had in his entire career.
Congratulations!
Now, Monday to Wednesday is the true test. You are going to play Oakland, your divisional rival. In 7 games, you have lost 4 times and won 3. You're not facing Bassett, but you still have to face Manaea. Can you do it? Greetings, my fellow Angels fans. Welcome to the latest episode of the show.
Welcome.
Episode 21 has begun, and we are going to talk about the most recent series in the desert versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. And holy smokes, that series was just as good as Kansas City. The Angels once again have swept their opponent.
Gotta sweep, sweep, sweep. Gotta sweep, sweep, sweep.
Another sweep, back-to-back sweeps. I don't think I've ever done that since I started doing Angels recaps, but that's unbelievable. And the Angels wasted little time getting onto the scoreboard. Let's take a look at how they scored. It all started in the second inning, or in the third inning from Kurt Suzuki? That's right, just as we would have all predicted, Kurt Suzuki goes deep for just the second time as a halo, making it 1-0. Rendon and Ohtani would make it 3-0, and I say Ohtani because he pitched Friday and threw up a good performance, but in the bottom of the 5th inning, this is where things got pretty weird, because this, on this pitch here, he got called for a balk. Now, I mentioned a balk on my previous episode because we scored when Greg Holland balked for the Royals, but this time Ohtani balked and it allowed Josh Rojas to come in to score the Diamondbacks. Can somebody tell me where he balked? Because this was a big debate with other Angels fans that I was talking to. Tell me here, where do you see Ohtani balk? And I believe this is the first one or the second. I'm not sure if this is the first or the second one.
Bruh.
That time he still wobbled a little bit as he came up into his set position. He can't believe it.
So that call was a bit of a head scratcher. Maybe
that is
you
correct.
Angels fans can fill me in on where it was. You'll probably say there wasn't, but if you were being honest, please tell me where he balked. Was it like maybe something very subtle he did with him going into his windup? I don't know. Well, that would drive in a run But that now I've watched on another YouTuber's channel that I've watched on one of his little series that he posts called Steve's Dang It's. He says, if you're a goaltender, tend the goal. Well, I have a variation on that. If you're a catcher, catch the ball.
Drop the third, Rendon coming home.
You were supposed to catch the ball. Oh, man. But fortunate, and the D-backs did tie it up on an RBI base hit, but in the craziest way possible, we get the lead back on a wild pitch. Well, I did say the D-backs had the worst record in baseball. Well, I guess that's one way to get a lead. This game would require extras as Raisel Iglesias somehow gave up a game-tying home run to Eduardo Escobar, and that shocked a lot of us Angels fans. Sometimes he will just hang a pitch right over the middle of the plate, and that's what happened with Eduardo Escobar. And what I really don't like about this is that you had 2 outs and 2 strikes. Just those ones, when you have 2 outs and 2 strikes on a hitter, you just have to, I just ask myself, why? And then we go into the craziness known as extra innings, where they put that crazy rule in effect where the runner starts on second. I hate this rule. It's really dumb. And given that we are playing in the National League ballpark, we have to play by the National League rules where there's no DH, so we had, during this inning, we had to have Griffin Canning, of all people, one of our starting pitchers, come out and pinch run. Yeah, the game was that crazy, considering we had multiple hit-by pitches. Ouch! The pitcher for the D-backs, Ryan Buchter, he balked.
Another
Former
one.
Angel, by the way. He balked, which was the 3rd balk of the game, and there were a combined 4 hit-by pitches, 2 of which came in that inning, happening to Taylor Ward and Kurt Suzuki. But the Angels would eventually get it done on an RBI ground out, and then Alex Claudio came in for the save. Alex Cobb got the ball for the 2nd game of this series, and let's just say this start was one that he would rather forget. His defense didn't really help him out that much. He allowed 5 runs in the 3rd inning, all of which came with 2 outs, which is very agonizing. And there was 1 or 2 moments where Anthony Rendon was forgot how to play good third base, where he made a couple throws that took first baseman Jared Walsh off the bag.
Bruh.
But fortunately, Rendon made up for his mistakes with a big game, probably the biggest game he's had since the Giants series a couple weeks ago. Rendon has a 4 RBI game.
2 pitch to Rendon. A swing and a drive to left field. That one is gone. Fourth of the year gets the Angels on the board in the 4th inning today. First pitch from Clark into the right center field gap. That's going to score both. No longer the hard thrower that he was when he broke in with the Royals back in 2007. Rendon with a fly ball to left. That's going to be more than enough to tag and score. This afternoon.
I'm honestly surprised that we were able to even get a hit off of Joakim Soria, because Soria has owned us in his career. I can only remember one other occasion where we got to him, but we actually managed to get to the veteran reliever this time. Walsh and Stasi had 2 hits on 2 pitches. You saw the sac fly on the video by Rendon. And then Jose Iglesias and Taylor Ward clutch up with 2 RBIs. And then Raisel Iglesias made it interesting again, but the Angels can breathe easy. They win Game 2. And in Game 3, the bats are blazing right out of the gate, and it starts with a 2-run bomb from Maximus Stassi.
Deep left center field.
Jared Walsh also got in on the action, and he homered in the 8th off of reliever Kevin Ginkel, part of a 3 RBI day. David Fletcher also joined in on the fun, having a couple RBIs, one of which on a squeeze play. And this is the day that Patrick Sandoval finally gets his first win as a starter. Let's all give him a round of applause. It took him 21 starts, but he's finally done it. Way to go, Sandoval. Way to go. So, in game 1, we are going to have Dylan Bundy going up against Sean Manaea. Bundy 1-6, 6.16 ERA. And Manaea is 5-2 with a 3.09 ERA. Game 2, we have Andrew Heaney taking on Frankie Montas. Heaney is 4-3 with a 4.37 ERA. Frankie Montas is 6-6 with a 4.37 ERA.
Interesting.
I think the first time we've had identical ERAs. And in the third game, Griffin Canning, who was tops on the staff and wins at 5-4, takes on Cole Irvin. Canning is, as I said, with that record, 5-4, 5.22 ERA. Cole Irvin, 4-7, 3.7 ERA. These matchups are favorable considering we do not have to face Kaprelian or Bassett. I hope I pronounced the first pitcher's last name correctly. Matt Olson, the first baseman of the A's, has always been a thorn in our side. Always, when he gets a hold of one, it's a majestic home run. The ball will take 5 years to come down. So keep your eye on Matt Olson, number 28, playing first base. His counterpart, Matt Chapman, has had a few better games I've been seeing for Oakland. Keep your eye on him, number 26, at the other corner of the infield. Jed Lowry has, again, he's another guy who's always been a thorn in the Angels' side. He's the DH. He can play a little bit of second base as well. So, number 8, watch for him. And let's also keep an eye on Mark Canha. Let's keep our eyes out for Justin Upton. Upton has been having a really good stretch of games since he was put in that leadoff spot. Let's also watch for Max Stassi, who has been absolutely on fuego since he returned from the IL. Let's watch for Ohtani. Let's also watch for Anthony Rendon. On and off. I'd like to see a little bit more consistency, but Rendon was a big factor in Game 2, so that is why I am putting him on this list. And let's also watch for Taylor Ward in right field. Taylor Ward has been pretty solid, hitting for some contact, some doubles, singles, so that's good stuff. Got to hit for a lot of contact and be smart against Oakland. So keep your eye on all those guys, and now let's predict who wins this series. So for the predictions, I know that we have been riding a very hot wave of momentum, albeit against lesser opponents. And I am quite afraid to play the hot hand here with Oakland, but for you Angels fans, I'm going to bite the bullet on this one, and I'm going to go with a series win, as nervous as I am to do it. And I'm going to do the series win like this. In Game 1, Bundy versus Manaea, I have us losing that game, and that will be a loss of 7-3. Manaea gets a win. Bundy gets, I'm going to call it a no decision. In the second game, Heaney on Montas. We fared well against Montas. I think we're going to do well, and I think Ohtani will homer in Game 2. And that will be a 8-6 win, a close win with Rizal getting a save. And in the third game with Canning on Irvin, I think we get the win in Game 3. I'm going to say that I'm going to call a home run from Max Stassi in that game. I think he'll homer in Game 3 or maybe one of the other games, who knows. And the Angels take Game 3 by a score of 4-1. Alright guys, that is it for this episode. Tell me what you thought of it in the comments below. Remember to click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already if you want to see more of these kinds of YouTube videos. And let's see if we can keep it going in Oakland.
Good luck!
Go Angels! And let's make it 7.